Hello everyone, welcome back to a guest player video. So today I'm on a realm that I play on with my friends. You can see some of their houses over there. That over there is my house. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a golf course in Minecraft. In this video I'm going to be showing you basic design for the different types of holes, how to build the sort of starter house, the gear you'll need, how to play it, and some suggestions I have. So let's start off with the starting building. I've got a pretty simple sort of suburban building, a nice stone base, white walls, and then I got these quartz pillars. You sort of use this for like a sort of plastic like thing that you'd see on houses. And here I've got this dark oak roof or ceiling and a birch floor for the inside. On the outside I've also got a black stone roof. It's supposed to sort of look like shingles. And then for the gear, I played with my friends a couple of days ago, so this gear is kind of beat up, but you basically have food for everybody, different shirts for like colors, so you can tell everyone apart, 2 stacks of pearls for player, and these are sort of what you use as the golf balls. And then these iron axes don't serve any purpose and you don't have to use them, but they sort of look like golf clubs. I wanted to use a hoe for this originally, but the reason I didn't is because if you have it in your offhand and you right click to throw a pearl, there is a chance that it can hoe the ground, and I didn't really want that. So the axe is optional, but yeah. And then here I've got this secret little chest underneath filled with a ton of pearls, and this is just to restock, and I'll show you how I got all those pearls. Again, I've done all of this stuff in entirely survival, so it's pretty survival friendly. So over here I've got the rule books and lockers for people to put their things, and then this is like a prize. You can have some sort of prize and then people pay to play it. This course has 9 holes because I'm pretty sure most golf courses have holes that are multiples of 9. So you can see over here, this is hole 9, it's the last one. So over here I have a resistance beacon. This makes it so that so that the pearls do less damage, and it's just a really nice beacon to have. You could also have regeneration speed. I just didn't have that many ore blocks at the moment, so that's why I went for regeneration. Okay, so the course itself was actually pretty easy to build. I just start out with sketching the basic shape I want to have for each thing on paper. Then after that, I sort of like lay out a cobblestone border. There's a variety of different obstacles that you can have. I used trees, sand pits, or I guess you call those sand traps, and water lakes. And then I also used a little bit of terrain features to make this a little harder. Then the way I build these is after I've got the cobblestone border up, then I start by laying out a light block and a some sort of like other block. It doesn't matter what this block is as long as it's a solid block and it's like pretty easy to get. And then for the light block, I'd recommend using either glowstone if you've got a ton of that, sea lanterns if you have a guardian farm, or jack-o'-lanterns if you don't have any of those, because jack-o'-lanterns are pretty easy to get. You just start a pumpkin farm and get a ton of torches. Then after you've got this sort of like wool layer all the way around your course, then you can start doing this grass part. The way I like to do this is have 2 different green blocks like sort of striped through the thing. In this case I used green concrete powder and lime terracotta because I thought those looked the best together. Then after you've done that, grass path could go in the middle. It's supposed to, this part is supposed to be like the part of the grass that's more shaved down. And you could also use grass, that would be a bit more green, but in my opinion I think that using grass path is better. For the hole, I used a polished blackstone block with a polished blackstone pressure plate on top of it so that you can hear it click when you go into the hole. And then on top of this, I just put a white banner to indicate where you're supposed to be going. At the beginning of each hole, I also have a sign saying hole 1, par, and then whatever the par is. For those of you who don't know much about golf, I actually had to look this up because I don't know that much about golf. Par is the sort of amount of shots that you want to get. In golf, the lower the score you have, the better you're doing. It's kind of a weird game, but yeah. So then once you've got all the holes sketched out and you know what you want to do, just collect the resources and start building. If you are going to use any sort of concrete powder, you're going to have to switch it out for something else near the water unless you want it to turn into concrete. So that's just something to keep in mind. So this, I would say, hole 4 is probably the hardest hole in the golf course, and I'll explain why. Because it's kind of hard to make a hole that's actually challenging. So you start on this side and you have a wall of trees in the way, and the hole is on the other side of this wall of trees. Now you can try and pearl under this tree, but there's a chance that you'll get stuck in here. If you want to have a good shot at doing good on this hole, then you try and like throw your pearl over here. And when I was playing this with one of my friends, they actually got a hole-in-one by shooting it over, and it landed in the hole, so that was really cool. I actually did pretty bad myself on this hole. I had to retry a couple of times because I threw my pearl too far. And yeah, so it's just, you got to try and be as creative as you can when you're designing the levels. And then in this level, I have it so that it's got sort of like a step up, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. Oh, and there's a zombie. Well, would you look at that? So that it's harder for you to see where you're going. And I think not being able to see where your pearl is going to land, or not being able to correctly predict where it's going to land, is one of the things that can make this Minecraft golf course a little bit more challenging. So once you have planned out everything and you know how you want your golf course to look, then you should start getting the resources. And also at the end here, I have this redstone hooked up so that when you make it into the last hole, it shoots out a firework rocket. And then for some of you might be confused about why these flags are floating or why these banners are floating. It's because there's a pressure plate here, and so that counts as a block that the banner can go on. This might not work on Bedrock Edition, I'm not sure. I know it works on Java, but I'm not entirely sure about Bedrock. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to build the golf course itself, I'm going to show you an easy way to get tons of ender pearls for this. Okay, so I'd recommend building this golf course after you have beat the ender dragon and done all that sort of thing, because this next part would be pretty hard to do without the end. So once you've got in, you've beat the dragon and all that, what you're going to want to do is find a nice open spot, and you can see there's pearls over here from me using this. So what you do is you want to dig a hole in the ground and then replace the blocks that you use to dig the hole with blocks above your head. You want these to be so that there's a 3-block space. So there's 2 blocks for you to stand and then an extra block. Then in the extra block you can put a slab, and this makes it so that the Endermen can't get in. And then once you've done that, you can put normal blocks or walls on the corner and then walls here. This is actually very important that you put walls here instead of normal blocks, because if you put normal blocks, the Enderman's arms will be at the same level as your head, and so they'll be able to hit you, and you really don't want that. So now I'll show you how this works. If you have Optifine on Java Edition, this is really useful because you can zoom in. It makes aggroing the Enderman much easier because you have improved accuracy. So you're going to want to start looking at all the Endermen. Okay, and once you have a ridiculous amount of Endermen aggroing on you, and this is a lot of noise for me, so really quick I'm just going to turn my volume down so that I can actually hear myself talking. Then once you've got all these Endermen aggroed, then you go up to one of the longer walls and go to the middle block. Then all the Endermen will be here. And this works on Java Edition. If you have a sweeping edge sword, then you hit them and it'll start smacking a bunch of Endermen at the same time. You can see in my captions that it says sweeping attack. This works especially well with a sword with mending, because then the Endermen will repair your sword. Looting 3 is also a really useful enchantment if you're going to be doing this, because it increases the chance for Endermen to drop a pearl and also makes it so that they can drop multiple pearls. This also works really well for getting XP as well as pearls. Now it's taking a while to get the Endermen down to a point where I can start killing them, but you can see now I'm starting to kill more and more of them, and my levels are going up. They're dropping pearls. So then you can actually use some of the pearls to get out of this little box that you made. As you can see, I already have over 3 stacks of pearls. So I'm not going to be giving any block for block tutorials on how to make this exact golf course, because I want to leave it up to you guys to design your own courses and see how crazy or creative you can get with this. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and all the other things that help positively impact me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!